John Prine, Angel from Montgomery, Tony Tone, Vintage Sound, 93.1 FM, 548. I woke up around 1 a.m., I think it was, and I had to go to the bathroom. And like most people in 2016, after you make a quick bathroom bathroom trip. Before I went back to sleep, I looked at my phone, of course, because that's what we do. Our phones are probably also our alarm clock, so they're near the bed, and they're within an arm's length away, and might as well see if anything's going on in the world of Facebook. And it was one of those moments that you hate when it happens, and you find out that somebody you know passed away. And then it's tough to fall back asleep, because I read, and unfortunately I think we knew this was going to happen, but it still doesn't make it any better, easier, whatever. So Rick Carter, who was a music lover. I had met Rick a couple years ago, Boy Scout tour of the radio station. He was here with his grandson. His grandson, I'll never forget it. His grandson said a 4-letter word, and it was hilarious, and it caught me off guard. And without missing a beat, Rick goes, he gets that from his grandma. So Rick unfortunately gets sick with cancer, and it's rough. That cancer thing is a real son of a you know what. It takes some of the best people. My uncle back in 2007, probably a lot of your family and friends, and it's really a tough thing to deal with, to watch someone sort of go from, well, how you knew them to where they are, and then they pass on, and luckily you can retain the memories of all the good times you had. And for me, like I said, I interacted with Rick on that Boy Scout tour, and then several call-ins to the radio stations with great requests all the time. That dude had quite the ear for good music. Some people just get it. Some people will turn you on to music you haven't heard of. It's one of those things where you're like, man, how do you know all this stuff? How are you getting exposed to this? So Rick sent me an email on Facebook around Thanksgiving of last year. There was a benefit that some of his friends were having, and I had tickets that I wanted to donate that could be put into an auction or whatever. I think it was tickets for Jeff Dunham, the puppeteer comedian guy. So I had these tickets, and I mentioned wanting to do something for Rick, and I was at Thanksgiving at Uncle Scott and Aunt Jan's house, and their friend Jeff Hartman was there with his family, who was like Rick's best friend. And then one of the Mills boys, I believe it was Jake Mills, was like, I'll buy the tickets. Here's the money. Gave it to Jeff. Jeff gave the money to Rick. Rick sent me the following message on Facebook. Tony, I'm Rick, so I should say, quote, Tony, I'm Rick Carter. I've met you a few times. I'm friends and old schoolmates with the Mills boy. My grandson also made his announcing debut at the station on a Tiger Cubs field trip. He gets his vulgarity from his grandmother. I'd like to thank you for a couple of things in no particular order. Jeff Hartman, my best friend. I know he ain't much, but he's all I got. Gave me some money last night. He told me you were responsible for the donation. I'd like to thank you for that. The money will come in handy, and the thought behind it warms our hearts and inspires us. So thank you so much for that. Next, thank you for running a radio station with a sense of community in its soul. Your commitment to our community has not gone unnoticed to me. It's obvious you have a good heart, and that comes through the airwaves. A couple of years ago, our friend Randy Tomfelt suddenly passed on. The next morning, I was running an end loader at work and was pretty heartbroken. I was motivated to write you an email and ask you to play Shame, Shame, Shame by Wet Willie. Within 10 minutes, you read the email on the air and played the song. You still play it now and then. Great choice for your song list. Our community notices these things. We also notice your ties to the local schools and local events, so thank you for that. Thank you for having a radio station that is about music, good music. I have a friend in Omaha for a few years. I've been texting him short text like local radio station is playing Martian Boogie or local radio station just played UFO Doctor Doctor. He was always impressed with the stuff I'd text him. He got the app a few weeks ago. Good music is good music, and you play it. Whether it's Muddy Waters, Missouri, Van Halen, or Vintage Trouble, you play it. So thank you for that. This whole benefit thing is a little hard for me. Some folks may tell you I'm a jerk. Others may tell you I've spent the last 30 years trying to help folks and spread love to those who seem and feel unlovable. I guess they'd all be right. I have been a jerk. I've tried to atone for that. And I never expected that I would have to receive the mercy, love, and compassion from those around me. But I understand that I must graciously accept it, and I must graciously accept the outpouring love from folks like you. I really don't have the words, so I will say, with love and gratitude, thank you. So that comes from Rick, but there's a P.S. Of course. P.S. Keep up the good work. I'm not going to burn a CD for you. No, he says, I'm going to burn a CD for you. It's by a guy named Chris Simmons. He played guitar for Leon Russell for about 5 years. A young guy from Alabama. I think you'd like some of his stuff. That's from Rick, who we just lost. And it sucks. That's a heck of a message. I don't know. I just feel like when you're in a small community like this, and for me, being on the radio, I talk to people every day. Every single day. It's tough. Oh, man, sorry. So, Rick and other people that I've gotten to know, that have passed make it tough. But I know that they're all in a better place with, by the way, perhaps the best jukebox ever, right? You think about who's up there entertaining everybody. David Bowie. Prince is now there. That's a pretty good deal. So yeah, I take this job very seriously, and the people, I can't believe I'm trying really not to cry, but it's just tough because I really care about the people that listen, you know. So when this stuff happens, it's tough because I think about their family and friends, and so Rick, rest in peace, man. And I wish I knew him better. I actually reached out to him probably 2 weeks ago when I knew he was struggling, but he was still posting things on Facebook. And I said, "Hey, man, if you're up to it and you want to come in and just hang out and be on the radio or just hang out or whatever, get out of the house." So, yeah, I wish I would have reached out earlier, but so that's from my buddy Rick. And a lot of you probably knew him, you know. And like I said, even though you know someone is sick, you're always optimistic that it'll get better. You know, when my friend Samurai, probably one of the first listeners of the radio station, he started to get sick, went to a VA hospital, and I talked to him. His spirits were good. I sent him some stuff from the radio station, and then he was gone. It was like, damn, just like that. So whatever your example, we all have a Rick in our lives. How about that? And for me, I have a lot because I'm on the radio, and I take a lot of phone calls and a lot of text messages. So it's hard to not get involved in people's lives when you talk to them every day, you know? I don't look at it as just like, hey, play this song. All right, see you later. Now, there's some people that I have that minimal interaction with, and that's fine. But there's other people I know their whole story. I know where they work. I know about their family, their struggles, and that's totally cool because we all have them. So without further ado, I'm going to start the show, but I just wanted to share that with you, and I apologize. I didn't plan on getting caught up in it, but I'm human, and it happens.